Hey guys, Jonah here, back with a beer review, and I'm trying to clear some of my back catalogue of beers. So I'm doing another one from the Sun Chasers um, Ferment magazine by Beer 52, but unfortunately, nothing about this particular brewery in that episode. But you'll see, we've seen this before. We definitely have, and I've drunk some of these before. It's Forest Road Brewing, and this is called Cube. And as you can see, there are lots of kind of cubism perhaps, I don't know exactly. But it's a West Coast IPA. If I get my face out of the way, I should focus. There we go, I'm getting better at focusing. Nearly 6%, we have 5.9. And this is down in London, mate, in it. SE14 in it. Very, very interesting. And we have some ingredients here. Malted barley, wheat. I don't think. No, it's just normal malts in this bad boy. And it's a triple C, apparently. Centennial, Columbus, and Cascade are the hops with a touch of Simcoe in there too. And I will read while you look at this thing again. Off the screen, it says, based on a San Diego classic, this beer is a scaled down version of our head brewer's favorite deeper or double IPA, but with a flavor punch that delivers a perfect balance of malts and hops, providing a tapestry of strawberry, papaya, and pithy citrus that transports you to the West Coast. So interesting. So once again, oh, and it's got a black top, but a silver bottom. Once again, the Beer 52 version, so I've looked at this on Untapped as well, yeah, has a lot less alcohol than the actual proper version, the full fat version, shall we say. So it's a kind of scaled down version for summer, or perhaps it's a scaled down version for the Beer 52 box. Which I'm always worried about getting these scaled down versions because, yeah, the Omnipollo Mud was a fantastic beer, but it should have been like 8 or 9% or something, and it was 5. This one is 6%, so I'd say that's definitely an IPA. But if it should be a double, it should be a double Beer 52. Anyway, let us see what we get from this bad boy. Just looking at the oh, had a tiny bit of sediment there. I wish they would. I wish they wouldn't do that. I wish they would make sure that the sediment is not in these cans. But alas, gonna have to school them down because of that sediment. There we go. Cube. Chin chin. And I had a brief look. It does have crystal malt in it, which is a fundamental side. If it didn't have crystal malt in it, then we wouldn't be able to call it a West Coast IPA. And unfortunately, because of that stuff that went in there, it is not clear at all. Not that that's the end of the world, but a West Coast IPA should be a lot clearer than an East Coast IPA. It's not the end of the world. There are West Coast that, especially the stronger ones, that do have a lot of hot matter and kind of stuff in them. But a traditional West Coast should be clearer. Oh, lovely. Getting all that kind of mixed of kind of, yeah, it's not really hoppy, which is bizarre. So I'm hoping that this has quite a high IBU content, i.e. a bitter beer. But I'm getting all those kind of, I always think of peachy kind of things coming. Yeah, it has got Cascade, hasn't it? Yeah, coming from the Cascade and the Centennial. I'm also thinking of the cherry kind of bubbly gum thing. So I'm not really getting that on the nose. Ooh, Does that bode well? I don't know, dear viewer. I do not know. Anyway, if you're new to the channel, think about subscribing. Really does help me out. All that kind of stuff that everyone says about YouTube, but doesn't mean it's not true. As is clicking like on the video. That really does help me out. So, come on, why not click like? Let's dive in and see what we get from this bad boy. Okay, so yes, it does have a bit of bitterness. Thank God. Um, and interestingly, this is a West Coast beer from East London. Kind of weird. Um, yeah, so I am getting that kind of chewy, bubblegummy thing. I'm getting that normal cascade. I'm getting a little bit of dankness as well. That kind of greenery, that kind of hedgerowy type thing. I'm trying to search out the juiciness from the Simcoe, that kind of orangey, juicy kind of thing, and I'm not really getting it that much. Um, and I wonder if this is a watered down version um, of their normal deeper, and instead of just a scaled down version, um, because it's not hoppy enough, number one, to be a traditional West Coast IPA. The strength, obviously, we know it's not the normal strength, so they watered down the strength a bit as well. Yeah, I mean the bitterness is there. There is more bitterness than you would get in an East Coast beer, but it's not enough. This is meant to be a West Coast IPA, and it isn't. Um, I mean, there are lots of weird versions these days, like cold IPA and brute IPA and stuff, are meant to be descendants of the West Coast style. But I used to have the West Coast style like 15 years ago, when maybe getting on for 20 years ago now, when it first sort of started coming through. Um, things like Sierra Nevada, which are not like it is now, is basically like a different beer. But you can get things that are reasonably similar. Um, but unfortunately, this is a London brewer kind of copying what they think is a West Coast style. Hmm, not not really West Coast for me. I'll tell you what is though, the colour is. That is exactly kind of right. It's not. It's um, the crystal malt, the crystal 60 or crystal 90 that they put in, just takes the edge off the colour. So it's more of an orange instead of a normal kind of pale ale beer. IPA, obviously being a pale ale, that's what PA means. Um, yeah, well, forget about India. Yeah, you don't want to remind the Americans about Indians. They forget that they did a genocide in their own country, or what became their country. Yeah. Okay, interesting. So second sip, second hit of this beer, things are beginning to improve. I'm definitely getting more of a kind of bitter hit there. It doesn't linger though. It kind of goes pretty quickly. And I wonder if that's because what they've done is they've taken, say, the normal recipe, and I'd have to look it up, and I haven't got it to hand, unfortunately. But say the double version was like 8% or somewhere around that. I wonder if they've divided all the things by 6/8. It would be to get it down to 6%, and that way, by doing that, um, you're pulling away some of the hops, the bitterness. Do you know what I mean? And maybe by making a weaker beer but keeping the hop level up, you would have ended up with more of a kind of punchy um, IPA in the West Coast style, of course. the other thing is because it's a bit hazy still, because of that kind of drop of the yeast, the trub, whatever it is. Um, it's kind of thickening things up in the mouth. And this has got dextrin malt, I think. Oh no, it hasn't. It's got something called imperial malt. Not sure where I got the dextrin malt, but it tastes like that, kind of like chalky. But I guess that must be that sediment from the can, which is weird because in the modern style, in the hazy beers, you don't have to worry about that so much. But when you're copying a style which is supposed to be quite clear, and from the look of it, you haven't followed quality control very well. Basically, couldn't be bothered. Um, yeah, it kind of changes the taste of the beer as well. So yeah, sorry, Forest Road. It looks like a West Coast IPA, but it isn't, unfortunately. And that's a real shame because it's a triple C hopped beer, which is West Coast style. Look at that. You've got some things firing, cannons firing off. And what have we got around this side? Just some lines on there, which is good. But yeah, not too much um, on Foam Watch yet again. That's a couple of days in a row. We haven't had much on Foam Watch. Anyway, never mind, dear viewer, never mind. Um, if you have had this beer in your Beer 52 box, please join me in the comments, the comments section down below, and let me know what you thought of Cube by Forest Road. Supposed to be a West Coast, but I don't know if it is. Convince me otherwise, dear viewers. Let me know down below, and I will join you there. Cheers and beers. This has been Unclejona, trying to drink some beer to entertain you. Take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and we'll see you for another beer review, and that'll be coming up real damn soon.